Hi there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cheryl, and in today's video we're going to talk about intuitive mark making and creating prompts for your sketchbook to get you started. Do you ever sit down to your sketchbook and think, oh, what am I going to do? You look at the blank page and what will I even make today is what comes up for you, and you kind of freeze and don't want to mess up the page or don't know where to go or how to get started. So, and today we're going to just talk a little bit about intuitive mark making and how you can use random prompts to spark your creativity, explore different materials, mixed media, get those sketchbook pages flowing. I've got a sheet of more than 50. I think there's probably 70 or so prompts here. And I'm going to put them in a Dropbox for you. What you're going to be able to do is to copy them, print them out at home and just copy them out. Print them out at home, copy them out. That's what I just said. Print them out at home is copying them out. And cut them up and put them in a little bowl and grab them for an impromptu prompt to help you get started with your sketchbook pages that are blank and kind of tripping you up. So making marks that are intuitive sounds easy, but sometimes our brains trip us up because we after a certain age, we become people who want to color in the lines and not so much outside the lines. It's what happens with adulthood, I think. I think if you look at a little 3 or 4-year-old, you give them crayons, they just intuitively know how to make marks that are just intuitive. So that's a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. Making marks in a way that feels natural, loose, and expressive. No big pressure, no perfect outcomes, just play with texture, lines, and layers. The best part is you don't need a plan. You just need to respond to whatever happens on the page. So I have some doodling here. I could then say, well, maybe I want something else. Maybe I would want color. And just add it without a lot of fanfare and build from there. Maybe I want a big bold shape. Just add it without a lot of fanfare. And what this really does is it gives you sort of creative confidence to kind of just build marks and just listen to your own intuition. This is where the idea of these random prompts, if you don't know how to start, well, suppose we started with something like organic forms. I'm just going to go flip into my sketchbook, and you can see that this is how I work. I work with just a blank page, and then I will just I have a sort of a repertoire of things that I like to make and shapes that I like to make, and I go in and I make them. But suppose you're starting from scratch and you have a page like this, and let's say we pulled zigzag lines and organic forms. So let's start maybe with using, on this page I did put some marks down. I always advise, like, just scruff up the page a little bit, even if it's just with a pencil. Just go in and make some light marks, because then the page it's not this pure page that you can say, oh, I'm going to mess it up. You've already invited energy onto the page, so there's a place to start. So I'm going to start with the zigzag lines, and I'm going to use something big and fat and chunky, or that's just what I'm gravitating to, zigzag lines. So already the page is activated. I'm going to make one fatter. So I've already got something on the page. So there's a zigzag line. Now I can keep going with zigzag lines. Maybe I'm gonna take some more zigzag lines here, and maybe some zigzag lines here, and maybe other zigzag lines here, and maybe here. And all of them are a little bit different. Maybe I can use another marker. And this is a zigzag line. And the weight of the lines are all different. Okay, so maybe now I will go to the next prompt, organic forms. So I think when I think organic forms, I'm kind of thinking I'm just grabbing an Artex marker and I'm gonna just make something really organic, kind of blobby. When I think of organic, I think of just not having a lot of like sharp edges. Maybe it's round like that. But do you see how already the paper is kind of filling in? Now you can keep going back and forth with drawing these different prompts. Let's look at what some of the prompts are and talk about them. So you could start to put in pattern or swirls or cross hatches or tear in some paper and add collage. We have the zigzag lines, which we just used. You could splatter, you could add transparent layers, scribble, and it goes on and on. And you could pick these out, you know, ahead of time, or you could just pick them out randomly. How about, oh, I'm trying not to look. Let's see. How about stacked layers? So a stacked layer, what comes up for me is stacked layers or things like this. I would stack, you could actually stack some layers, like literally stack layers. Or you could, this is actually a stacked layer because it's stacking on top of this layer. So it doesn't take a lot of, it's just make the mark. There's no right or wrong. There's no mistake. It's not bad. If you don't like it, guess what? You just cover it up. That's a stacked layer. It's stacking on top of something else. What's under it? Let's try another one. Repeating circles. Okay, let's try that. Let's try something else. Maybe we'll try, I'm just randomly grabbing colors so you can see them. Repeating circles. See how the page starts to kind of get interesting. There's a circle here. We can repeat circles in a lot of different ways. And now this is also layering because it's going over all the other things. And so you can keep adding from the list, or maybe you just put the list away and then look at this and think, okay, what else would I like to do here? So I'm gonna paint a little bit. I'll probably just speed up the camera and let you watch me. So there are probably a multitude of ways that you could use these prompts, but I'm just going to give you 5 ideas. The first idea is to use a random jar or a random bowl and just pull. You can write all these prompts, throw all the prompts in a bowl and pick one out randomly. No decision paralysis, just do whatever comes up. The second way to do them is to layer multiple prompts together, kind of like what we did. Start with one thing and then add another thing and try them in a different media. So a little bit like what I was doing, I grabbed one tool and then another tool and another tool, another color or another tool, you know, just mix up the material and the media as you go along. A third way to do it would be to create a little mark making challenge for yourself where every day you pull a prompt and just do marks in a small, you know, you could probably use a small sketchbook like this and just fill the pages with random marks. Do it for 30 days and see what you come up with. And no pressure, just play. A fourth idea is to use these as warm-ups before you work on a bigger piece or you work on, you know, a project or something like that. Use the mark-making prompt as a quick warm-up exercise. It's like stretching or doing the scales before piano play, but it's really good for your creative brain. And the fifth way would be to explore different multiple materials, like just grab you know, one of these delicate lines. Well, how do I make delicate lines with gouache? How do I make delicate lines with acrylic? How do I make it with, you know, a pen? How do I make it with collage? Could I collage delicate lines and really, you know, just stretch your imagination with each of these? And there's no right or wrong way. And it really allows you to just drop into your own creative playfulness. And these tools are just there for you to practice with and have fun with. And maybe as you're going along, you think of something, you go, oh, why don't I try this? Add it to your bowl of prompts and come up with your own prompts. And maybe in the chat, if you're so interested, share some of your favorite prompts with all of us. So I would love to know what you think of this and if you're using prompts and how your sketchbook practice is going. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.